Hi, I'm Sarah. My father passed away when I was 11, and I live with my mother since then. My mother worked so hard to make a living, but everything was so expensive no matter how hard she worked, and we could hardly pay the rent. Until one day, my mother came to me and talked to me. She said, Darling, I want to get married. There is a man who wants to marry me. If I marry him, we will have good financial condition and we will have a proper house to live in. I said, Okay, Mom, no problem if you think this is better for us. Although I was 13 at that time, I realized that my mother had to do this because of financial circumstances. Of course, the man was not that rich, but he at least had a small house to live in. Anyway, my mother married that man and he became my stepfather. I thought our situation would get much better, but the situation got even worse. The man was extremely stingy and mean. The only useful thing about him was that he allowed us to live in his house. Otherwise, he would not pay for me and my mother. It didn't even take a month until he abused my mother. For example, once my mom made food and it was salty while we were eating, he shouted at my mother and said, Why is this food so salty, stupid woman? I don't have free money to pay for you so you can bring this to the table. Then he threw the dishes away and left. My mother cried, but she couldn't do anything. He either ordered my mother to clean the house or to wash and iron his clothes. It was as if he was looking for a servant. My poor mother couldn't say anything. She endured it for me, and this tortured me most of all. I felt that if it weren't for me, my mother wouldn't have to marry that bitch. Longest story short, our life continued until one day after the school bus took me home, while I was crossing the street, a car hit me and I fainted and didn't feel anything else. After a while, I opened my eyes and I saw that I was in a plane. I was alone and scared and I wanted to cry. I thought I was dead until a beautiful shining lady came to me and said, You're Sarah, right? I sadly said, Yeah. Where is this place? Am I dead? She kindly said, No, darling, you're not dead yet. I have a gift for you from God so that you can continue living more comfortable with your mom. She said, You're in a coma now, but when you wake up, go to the garden in front of your house. There is a box there with a glass of liquid. Pour a drop of that liquid on everything and it will turn into gold. When I wanted to answer, everything disappeared and my eyes were opened and I saw the ceiling. I realized that I was in the hospital and my mother was by my side. I whispered, Mom? When my mom heard my voice, she shouted for joy and hugged me so tightly. I was released from the hospital a few days later, but the story of that lady was on my mind until one day when my stepfather was not at home and my mother was cleaning the house. I went to the garden to dig it. I worked for an hour or two, but I didn't find anything until I suddenly realized that something was there. I continued digging and surprisingly I saw the box. I couldn't believe that it was true. Frightened and shivering, I opened the box and saw the liquid. I wanted to scream, but I said to myself that my stepfather might come home at any moment and find out about it and take the liquid away from me. On the other hand, I didn't tell my mother either because I wanted to make sure that it worked first. Long story short, I went to my room and secretly poured a drop on my school bag. At first, nothing happened, but within seconds, I saw that my school bag turned into gold. I couldn't believe it. I quickly went to my mother and told her to come to my room. When my mother saw the gold bag, she couldn't believe it either. She shouted, Sarah, where did you get this? Did you steal it? I said, What are you saying, Mom? I didn't steal it. It's mine. Then I told her the story of going into a coma and that lady. My mother couldn't believe it at all. Sarah, don't lie to me, she retorted. When I saw that she couldn't believe it, I poured another drop on my painting book, and after a few seconds, it turned into gold. My mother suddenly screamed and jumped up and down with joy. I haven't seen my mother this happy for a long time, and this happiness made me feel so proud of myself. I knew that my mother didn't have to work and could live a comfortable and happy life forever, but we decided to take revenge on my stepfather before that. At first, we decided to buy a house with the gold we had, and we did it. We bought a very large and luxurious house. Now we had to take revenge. We decided to send a photo of our new house with a gold statue to the stepfather. The stepfather was surprised when he saw the photo and quickly called my mom. "Where are you, stupid woman? What is that gold in your hand? Come home soon." My mother and I said, "Let's go and face him." When we got home, the stepfather was furious in the house and said, "Where have you been? Whose house was that? What was that gold statue?" Then we told him the story, and my mother slapped him and said, "You called me stupid on the phone. I slapped you to find out who you're talking to, bastard." My stepfather realized that the story was true, so he began to cry and apologize. He said, "Honey, I had no intention. You know that I have always loved you and you were my queen." "Queen? You just wanted me to serve you and you humiliated me. Stay in this house now because my daughter and I want to go to our big and luxurious house." My stepfather, who couldn't believe that nothing will happen to him, fell at my mother's feet and said, "Darling, I made a mistake. Forgive me. I promise I'll make it up to you. Let me be with you again." With a grin on her face, my mother said, "Stupid man, you are making my shoes dirty. Go away." I was so satisfied to watch this scene and enjoyed it. Sometimes revenge is not necessary, but sometimes there is a certain dignity and honor in revenge. That man had to understand what he had done wrong. We left that place, and my mother and I are still enjoying our good life together. What is your opinion? Was it a good revenge? Write your comment for us.